what a beautiful day.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, hello. It is a lovely day. It's cool out actually. So from the middle of March in South Florida, it's like crazy town.
Yeah.
To have this kind of weather, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is beautiful weather.
It's so good.
So welcome back to Grounded in Motion. We decided to be out here after our last episode. So beautiful. Came out great. So
Yeah, it looked great.
yeah. And then today we're talking about a little bit about sitting, the effects of sitting, just as we are right now. How it compresses your lower back. How long does it take till, that starts to create an effect. And we're going to go take a little tour of Relax the Back.
They have my favorite chair. If you sit at a desk, this is what I always recommend. It's an investment, of course, but it is incredible, and we're going to talk about why it's so different than all of those very expensive, ergonomically correct chairs. So I'm very excited to share that with you guys, and they have 3 different models. I was like, yes!
Take a tour.
So that would be really fun. I've never sat at a desk, obviously through school, but I also went to culinary school, so we spent a lot of time cooking. I did 22 years in hospitality, and now I'm a movement coach, so I've never really sat, but as I've been helping the clinic on some admin stuff, I'm sitting obviously a little bit more, and it's amazing how quickly
it does.
The body's like, "Mwah," and like the pain points in my neck, and just trying to keep, I'm lucky because I constantly get to move. We have gym equipment, so I can I'm not stuck at a desk.
Yeah.
I can hang from the bars and stuff, so it's definitely a little different, and I have the tools to utilize that. But I can see how I get stuck in the grind and answering phones and changing schedules and, talking with people, that it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing how fast sitting changes the body. It's blown my mind.
It does, yeah. I also sit a lot for graphics, so after a while between the graphics, the screen and the sitting, my hand is falling asleep. It did fall asleep the other day.
Yeah, so I also noticed my eyes staring at the computer screen, because I've never looked at a computer screen more than, an hour or so. I tried out some blue light glasses because I wasn't sure if it was a hack or not.
I tested out.
Obsessed.
Oh, really?
My eyes would hurt at the end of the day. Like after work, I'd come home and then I might be on my phone or something, and my eyes hurt so bad. So I started wearing the glasses all day at work when I'm looking at the computer.
And it works?
Huge difference. My eyes aren't tired. They don't hurt.
Okay.
So that was really fascinating.
I'm learning. There you go. There's a big tip. I may get that
pair.
Because I'm doing the graphics so much now. And yesterday I went to sleep. My eyes were like, so
exactly.
I think it'll be helpful.
It's really amazing.
But yeah, so sitting, it's terrible. So let's talk a little bit about what happens when you sit. I have Malia close to me today. I can spy on her phone a little bit.
Where did it go?
Let me check.
I got it.
Perfect.
So I think the number one thing, obviously, is just the compression.
Yeah. It minimizes the lumbar curve, so it really is going to just immediately crush it. Yeah, unless you're really trying to get into some nice stuff like that, which after a while, you're strengthening your muscles, but you're still sitting, so it's still compressing.
And the body's always going to take the path of least resistance. So if you're not focused on your posture and you're in your work, it's just going to naturally do this forward motions and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going to compress the discs.
Especially L4, L5, L5, S1.
And that's right where it comes into the sacrum,
so
at the pelvis.
That hip pain, low back pain, sacral pain, all that locking that people feel, that stiffness across the lower back, that's definitely can be from sitting, if you do sit a lot. It's my first question too. And they're like, oh, it's like a really painful low back right here, like a band. Do you sit a lot? They're like, yeah, I do for work. I'm like, there's that that L4 to S1 firing and compression, spicy compression. So there's a bunch of research, and I'm going to do a little mini blog on this, of course, with all the research, so you guys can dive into it. But like I mentioned, it reduces the lumbar curve and then the muscle deactivation and the weakness. So
goodbye glutes.
yeah, like I said, yes, goodbye glutes. Once again, I used to think that there was like a sitting good posture. I don't think there's any good sitting posture now. I used to have that idea that, okay, sitting like this in a specific way was going to help a little bit. It's going to make it less bad, but you still got to get up. It's going to, like Malia said, it's going to deactivate your glutes, your hamstrings. Your
hip flexors.
Yeah, your hip flexors. Your breathing may be better because you're a little bit more seated, more upright, but still from here down, it's like stagnant. So circulation is still being cut at that point. At least your breathing is better because you're more upright.
Oh, that's one thing I noticed because we do not have the greatest chair where I am. And I noticed like a tingling sensation at the in my hamstrings and stuff because of the way the chair is and my height. Even though I can...
Oh, you're hanging? You're dangling a little bit?
I do sit with my legs down a little bit. I often sit with my legs up. I curl up. I mean, you should see me. I'm like all different ways in this at work.
It makes me think of these, these more older, or, some of the older clients are like, oh, I put the legs up against the wall. You kind of like, yeah, like that. Makes sense. If you do sit all day and your feet are hanging down that way, it does affect a lot circulation of the legs.
Yes.
So, especially seated for a long time. So you can only sit upright like how I am, even right now, for a certain amount of time. Yes, the muscles are working a little bit more, but you're deactivating your booty. And
so let's go back to the breathing because she brought that up. Obviously, if you're seated in a more upright position, that's going to help. But most often, everyone has lumbar support, which is still a compression. And we often have a compression forward in prolonged sitting. And that's compressing the diaphragm because now it's sitting on the abdominal cavity. So you're not breathing as big or as well. And the diaphragm isn't getting its full expansion, which means that the posterior thoracic spine, your mid-back, isn't moving as well. And that can become stiff and tight. Yes. And so you don't have full range of motion, which means you're not taking full deep breaths. So your breath becomes shorter. It becomes a little bit more chest dominant as opposed to down and expansive through the movement of the rib cage. And if we're not taking these regular, healthy, optimal breaths, that's going to affect our digestion because of the way the pump of the diaphragm is into the exchange of pressure in the abdominal cavity. So that's where, you see so much stuff on Instagram like, your posture doesn't matter. Posture doesn't matter in small increments, but if you're sitting for extended amounts of time, your posture is absolutely going to matter.
You're going to
be
affect
affected.
your breathing. Yeah, it's going to be affected. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
Laugh at them. I'm like, okay.
And also, Malia always goes back to, I'm surprised you skipped it, but the nervous system. You're going to be feeling a little bit nervous after sitting in that way while normal. With the lack of everything.
Used to it.
Yeah, you adapt to that nervous
and an increase in anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you're not taking in full expansive breaths into the bottom of the lungs, which is where the majority of the alveoli and the gas exchange happens. So you have a decrease of tolerance for CO2, which is going to increase your,
of course, yeah,
stress.
So it has its big downsides. Long-term chronic or long-term effect of chronic sitting. Disc degeneration and herniation risk. Oh my God, this reminds me of like lawyers. Like, hi, if you're a lawyer out there, we love helping you. That you sit a lot all day. So I know I see lawyers sitting a lot. My mom sits a lot. She works in pharmacy, counting the medications. So.
Oh, that's a hunched over.
That's what I'm saying. She gets very hunched over.
And the chefs that I work, think of it like
True.
A chef.
They're looking down too.
They're always, and then that you have this weird position, and a lot of the benches are made for taller people. So for us short people, like sometimes once you add a cutting board to the counter, it's a little bit more, shoulder heavy and rounded.
So yeah, it's gonna. That's when you start to see that disc degeneration and the herniation, risk. You go and you pick up a shoe, and for sure you're blowing out like your back. It's already in that compressed state, so that's all it takes. So yes, it does affect your joints. So it is the health of your joints, and it doesn't matter how much you train. If you go back to being in that position for a while, you're gonna undo all the good training that you do, all the stretching, all the mobility. You can throw it out the window. So. If you're going to be sitting for a long time. So that's what we're going to get into next. What you can do to
Some
help.
Squats.
Okay, so tips. What you can do for sure. for sure.
I found a study. I'll have to
Yeah.
research it and find it again. It was like in a quick search. But body weight squats can help mitigate because
Of course, yeah.
the hips, the movement
You gotta
of
move
the
the hip.
spine.
Yeah, you gotta, and it's a
Right?
natural movement you have to retain. So,
Yep.
organic movement.
Every,
you
like,
gotta
60 minutes.
get up and walk.
40 minutes.
I don't care if you're in a cubicle. You got your phone. You walk around in circles. You walk around. You can watch one of our other videos where you hinge. You can hinge in your cubicle and kind of floss your spine a little bit.
Some big
Floss your
breaths,
back.
breathing, taking some breathing, fundamental breathing and expansive breath into the posterior lungs is really, really good. Setting the posture of your head so that the neck extensors stay nice and long and don't start this anterior head position.
Yeah, and you can take breaks and do this. You know, you can do this while you're on the phone. You know, when you get a call, if you have a headset, you should have a headset. I would pray. I think everybody has a headset now. I don't know. I don't work in an office, but
I don't know.
everybody
I don't
should
have one,
have.
but I
an
definitely
headset.
think about it.
Yeah, so you know, you want to take those breaks. If you're there all day, if you want to be an active person that's gonna have a healthy back, dedicate the time. Leave a note on your computer. Put a
Set a
reminder
timer on your phone.
on your Apple Watch, whatever. Get up, move, breathe, stretch, do something. 5 minutes. You know, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
at 1 minute. Just take
Yeah.
1 minute every 20 minutes, every
Yes.
40 minutes. And,
This is not-
rotate it. On this minute, I'm going to breathe. On this one, I'm going to squat. On this one, I'm going to
Yeah.
hinge, whatever
This is
that
not
looks
going to
like.
take away from your time, okay? Meaning this is going to teach you to stay alert and aware. So maybe you're getting drowsy as you're on the computer because you're getting bored and stagnant. Getting up and moving is going to help you tap back into your focus. So moving is not going to take away from your work. It's going to help enhance your work mood. So try to do that because you're going to get yourself out of a rut,
Right.
So you want to get up, do that, understand that it's going to benefit you in moving in these little increments throughout the day, especially if you're working 6 hours at a desk, 6 to 8 hours. Some people really do grind it out like that. Our grinds are different, but some of you guys I would have to respect it.
Movement snacks is what we call them.
Yes, so the movement promotes the emotional intelligence, helps to enhance the mood, will help to, soothe your nervous system and all that stuff. So, and tapping back into yourself, as always. So refocus. So it's not going to take away from you.
We'll post some videos and
Tips.
pictures and stuff of like some highly, what was I going to say? Highly is not. What we recommend for your desk ergonomics.
Yeah.
Everyone can't have a standing desk. So what can you do if you're tied to a sitting desk? How
this
do
in the
you
blog.
work for on a standing desk? A lot of people put the walking pad under their standing desk. I don't know if I am coordinated enough to
I don't think I'm
look
that.
at a
I
computer,
can't do
type,
that.
and walk.
My-
That might be challenging for me.
That's different.
That's next level coordination. I don't know if I have that.
Who's doing that? Let's train. You can train me.
Train me how to do that.
So yeah, we'll be putting it on the blog so you guys can have all the rundown, have mad tips, have little clips of us fixing our posture, little stretch tips, because we have a bunch of videos that we can just put together and recommend some of the other videos that we think relate to this. And yeah, we're gonna go to relax the back.
And look at our favorite chair. I'm so
Let's do this. Let's do
excited.
this. All right, I'll see you guys soon. We'll be
All
back.
right.
Tell us, what are we doing today?
Ooh, we're talking about my favorite desk chair, the Anthros, and the ergonomics of what you really want to be looking for and what sets this chair apart from all other chairs on the market.
Awesome.
All right, so we're at Relax the Back. We're having a great time, and they have this beautiful Anthro chair. And what's so brilliant and beautiful is that specialists who design wheelchairs and movement specialists and doctors, chiropractors, and other doctors all came together to create this chair. And what sets it apart is so often everything, all the ergonomics is about the lumbar spine. The lumbar spine needs the support, but she's not sitting on her lumbar spine, she's sitting on her pelvis. And so her pelvis is what needs the support. So otherwise, what happens to the pelvis? It either anteriorly or posteriorly tilts. So what's so brilliant about this chair is that it's going to meet her pelvis, and then it's going to support her pelvis. Now, her lumbar spine is in a natural alignment, it's natural curvature, and then you can adjust the thoracic to meet the thoracic so you can sit in a nice and aligned position, stacked with support where it needs to be supported. They have
right here. All right, what would be here?
Oh, I couldn't see what you were doing.
Yeah, I just grabbed this. All right, like this. You have to literally get so close for a desk. Looks good, it feels good.
Right, look how aligned she is. Her feet are on the ground. I could probably lower it a little bit so her feet were more, it was more set up for
Only thing is that it
myself.
has the little, unless this is a footrest that I don't know about, but it could work as one.
Right, so look how nice and aligned she is. And she has the support where it matters. The lumbar spine doesn't necessarily need a bunch of support if it's stacked on top of the pelvis. And while she's working, she's not going to slump too far forward because her back here is being supported and she can breathe really well here. And that's the key that we're looking for. And then she's just, you know, working on her desk, doing her thing. And I think that that's what really sets this chair apart, is that it's not ergonomically designed and so much for that lumbar. It's really hitting this pelvis in the support and then giving the support in the thoracic. And then it rocks back. She could rock back as well. And she would still be super supported if she rocked back as opposed to slumping back. So that's
Feels good.
I just wanted to share this because I'm like stoked about this chair. It's
Feels very
brilliantly
nice.
designed.
Honestly.
Right? It's so comfortable.
Yeah, I think it feels really
And
good.
you could definitely check out
You got these in different
their
colors?
different colors,
Exactly,
different
yeah.
fabrics. You know, all of that is of
Put like a
course
red on this
designed. Oh, okay.
Like that one.
So yeah, there's my take on that. I love this chair.
Feels great, honestly.
I think it's brilliant.
Feels actually really good.
Yes.
That's not lying.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
it
brilliant.
does.
All right.
I'm definitely not sitting on this type of quality at home.
No, me neither. Or at work. In
We
that
got
clinic
it.
that I work at. I'm looking at you, boss.
So this is actually really nice.
Right.
Cool.
And see, even if you relax back from your position, you're still supported, you know?
Yeah. Feels
Look,
good.
if she just chills and like relaxes, she's not slumping.
I
She's
noticed that this
supported
is a
in a
little
line.
bit, like it feels like very. It feels good. It feels like it lets me be mobile up here in the mid back. Feels nice in the thoracic. This also feels
Yeah.
really good. Nice chair.
And all of that is, adjustable.
Now that I sit in it, I can give you my review.
I can change the tension of the rock, the amount it pushes into your lumbar, the amount the back is forward or back. If
I'd
you
like
want
to
it sit
adjust
you
the
up straighter.
thoracic.
I'm sorry?
The thoracic.
You want it more forward a little bit? Okay. You want it to meet your back,
Yep.
basically? There you go.
A little bit more, please. Nice. There we go.
And of course, when you
so
do
good.
that, your weight distributes forward, so the rock is less.
Yes. Well,
Which
then
is
when
good.
I sit back, it's nice and
Yeah,
supported.
and if you want it to lock, you don't want it to rock, you can lock it as
Right.
well. Arms go up and down, forward and back.
And
in
some of the
out.
models don't have arms, right?
You can. I don't know if you can.
I think you
do
can
without
order
or
them
maybe.
without arms.
When we build it, we basically have all the
Right.
specs, and we tell them what you want and what you don't want.
Oh, okay. You have to face this way.
Distributes forward, so the rock is less.
Yes. Well,
Which
then
is
when
good.
I sit back, it's nice and
Yeah,
supported.
and if you want it to lock, you don't want it to rock, you can lock it as
Right.
well. Arms go up and down, forward and back. Like complete and for gaming too, but a lot of people we have a lot of people interested in it right now. They're like real estate, not real estate, but they're like they do the stock market. They're like
Oh, so they have to be up at night,
they're
like
constantly in their chair.
yeah. Some people stay up late and they're like they're just staring at the
You
screen.
just be on
That's what I would think.
What's
The
gonna
blood
happen with my
flow.
circulation after hours. Because the way it's designed, there's no armrest.
Right, so you're
Basically,
holding your arm.
No, you're not. You're resting here. This is.
Oh,
your arm is
that's-
resting right here.
Oh, so it should come in.
Right, so it comes into you, so you're just like in a very natural, relaxed position.
Right.
But I agree with what he said. I'm like, well, how does that play out long term?
Well, especially if you're holding your mouth, like you're just moved. Interesting. I would.
So you can literally use
like
it
a
as
little
desk
ca-
with
like
the
a-
feet all the way in,
Right.
as much as you want it. Bring it all the way down, so now it's a chair. And then, from that point, and you can adjust it in different ways, right? Because you can sit straight up, right? And then,
Okay, but it has the adjustable like.
and then you could also use it as a stand-up desk. So it literally stands you up. You bring this
And you
down,
can
now
move it
it's a
up.
stand-up desk. That's kind of interesting, right?
That's-
Plus
I
it
mean,
has a
yeah.
little- It has a little arm that comes out of here for
Right.
your laptop. Can be attached
Right.
to the side. You can do dual monitors with it.
That is like intense.
Cool. I love this.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Well, we're here on another day because we forgot to do the closing statement for the last video. We were having too much fun at Relax the Back, honestly.
Vinny was awesome. We had a great experience there. He was so knowledgeable. He had worked for Relax the Back for like 17 plus years or something. Wow. So he really understands the body and sitting. And so we had, I mean, really a knowledgeable conversation. Yeah. So if you're local to the South Florida area and you want to have questions or anything, I mean, I highly recommend it. Was a wonderful experience just to be there. He led us into his store and to record, answered all of our questions, showed us multiple things. The Anthro Chair is brilliant, my friends. It really supports the body in its natural, most optimal sitting position. And we wanted to highlight that because so many of us sit at a desk for hours.
Yeah, once you sit in that chair, you will notice the difference
Immediately.
Like you're going.
It's so
to be able
comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. You can feel it feels
On
so
my
much lighter
wish
in the
list.
body. Yeah, it's a very beautiful chair. Honestly, definitely goals. You know.
Yeah, and you can follow them on Instagram. It's at Anthros. We'll throw it up in the comments, but they are a lovely, incredible team that I've been following since the birth of this chair for maybe 2 years now or so, maybe a little longer. I'm not a time person.
Cool.
But really, really incredible team that came up and designed this chair and is really looks at sitting, understands sitting, and created the most optimal chair for them. So thanks for joining us for that. That was super fun.
Yes.
And on the next episode, you are going to learn about shoulders.
Shoulder mechanics. Yes.
Yes. All
That'd be
right.
awesome. I'll see
Check
you
us
guys.
out. Follow us.
Thank you for joining.
Ask us questions.
Drop comments, subscribe, love it, like it, share it. I'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
That chair is awesome.